Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge banded medium indoor-outdoor wall sconce. This is going to be the 30-50-897. This is the medium in a series of different sizes. Check them all out. It's also listed as an exterior sconce on Hubbardton Forge's site, but it's really beautiful enough, and the ability to use this in all kinds of different applications means it's an indoor and outdoor sconce, so just kind of keep that in mind. Let's get into the size of the fixture itself, and this is going to be from the bottom to the very top, and that's coming in at 15.8. Width is 7 inches. Projection coming out from the wall is 5.2, so it's pretty flush. You can use this in all kinds of different applications, stairways, hallways. If you're using this inside, I could see it being really beautiful in maybe a modern or contemporary dining room or living room, flanking a painting, a contemporary painting, or maybe a fireplace. That would be pretty great. But it's also great to put on your garage. Look at that. So it's a nice beefy fixture that can produce quite a bit of light in it, and it's really beautiful. Let's get into a little bit more information. 7.9 inches tall, actually 7.9 inches mounting height. That's the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the center of your electrical outlet box, and that means it's pretty much a center mount. And then the backplate on it is 7 inches by 15.8. I want to show you a little bit more information about all of this, and how we're going to do it is to look at the installations instructions now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. It's going to show you lots of great drawings, line drawings, that show you all kinds of information about the backplate on this and how it mounts on your J-box, how there's a bit of a box that's built into the whole backplate that allows different places to run those wires. Very important to always use those install instructions. They're going to show you a lot of great information. Full parts list, how everything goes together. If you're using this outside, I would recommend once you have it on your building, you put a little bead of clear silicone between the fixture's back and your building where they come together, just to seal it up from moisture and rain getting in there. Okay, let's get into a little bit more information. It's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for the inner diffuser, so you're not going to be able to see your socket. Opal, I'm going to talk a lot more about later in the video. It's a milky matte white glass, really pretty. And then on top of that, it's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's seeded clear glass, and seeded clear glass is just what it sounds like. It is a clear glass, hand blown, has little air bubbles in it that look like champagne bubbles. Top of it is closed, so no water is going to get into it. Hubbardton Forge's glass is very thick and it's very substantial. It holds up to a lot of things, and it's great. They only use the best glass vendors in the world to make all of their glass, and we talk about all their glass all the time. You know, circling back to the install instructions, you're going to see that you've got a couple different options for sockets here. You're going to have, this is a medium base socket. This is going to be the one that you would get if you just order this in a regular way. It's going to accommodate a bulb like that or a bulb like this. This is the B bulb they keep talking about when it says B bulb, because it has to be able to get inside of that glass. Just remember that. But it's just a screw-in bulb, screw-in socket. We also can do as a custom for California people who are pulling permits for new construction or renovation, where the building inspector, electrical inspector for your town is coming out to see you, and they're going to want to see something more like this for California Title 25 compliancy. And this is a Title 24 GU 24 socket, and you'll notice it's not deep like this one. It has two little prongs on it, so it accommodates only an LED that can get into this. However, we know this will take all these LEDs, so that's great too. And you'll notice again the B thing that they talk about, which is fine. It's easy to get these all over the place, but I think there's a better alternative to this. If you want to do incandescent, you can stick with that too, up to a 60-watt bulb. But there's great LEDs that exist. And these are the LEDs that are commonly used in exit signs. So they're everywhere. Every hardware store in every town has to have them because exit signs are everywhere, very easy to get. So these are T6s, there's T8s, there's T10s. That piece of glass is, let's see, it's 9.72 inches long, which means that it's kind of nice that the light is going to come up through the whole thing, and the whole thing is going to glow, as opposed to this, where it's going to be more of a hot spot on the bottom. So this will produce better light, this kind of LED. Again, T8, T10, T6, and you can get them at Home Depot, you can get them at Walmart or any of these places, True Value Hardware Store. Now, if you really want to go, gangbusters on this, I kind of did a deep dive, and I found a 100-watt equivalent T10 bulb that was 7 inches long that could get into this. So if you want to have the opportunity to get a 100-watt equivalent light out of this, you can do that. And again, that takes us to where you're going to use it. So some people are going to be using these maybe on an outdoor porch, screened-in porch, or you're going to be hanging out with your friends, or on a patio, maybe a deck on the back of your house. Put it on a dimmer and get a dimmable version of the bulb. You can dim this down, so when you guys are hanging out there late into the evening talking, you can dim it down and it'll be just like candlelight. It'll be really, really pretty. So, but like I said, if you're going to be using it on your garage, by your front door where you got to get a lot of light out of it, don't worry about the dimmable bulb part of this equation. The bulbs on these LEDs that are out there are going to be offered to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's a super yellow light. That one might be pretty in the dining room setting I talked about before, which is kind of a romantic setting, or maybe the outdoor porch idea. However, they're also going to offer these bulbs to you in something called daylight. And you got to be really careful about that one because it sounds like sunlight and sounds like it should be warm, but it's not. Daylight is a blue-white light. It's 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. And what we like to use in our showroom is warm white, soft white. We talk about it in all of these videos. That's 3,000 Kelvin. Light coming down on this table is 3,000 Kelvin, warm white, soft whites from these LEDs right above us. So in any case, I would probably just kind of look at the situation that you're trying to do, decide if you need a dimmable bulb. Most of them are, and then kind of just go from there. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive. And they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it. And because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.